Okay, now that we got that all together, let's move on to the assembly. So we come down here, we click on the assembly thing. Go over here, insert. And what we want to do is insert a rail and a plate. Right click on the rail, fix it down. Then we're going to use the fasten mate tool. Come over here, we want to have that corner like that, making sure that little yellow disc is facing the right way, and then we want to come in here and join those two together. We're going to put in another rail. And we're going to join that one over here.
Wait a minute!
You probably should ignore that.
The next thing we need to do is put in our grill here. So you go back over here to insert, we're going to put in a single grill. And we're going to fasten it on the underside. Like that. To the top of this. And then what we want to do is come over here to this assembly linear pattern thing. We want to click on the thing we want, choose a direction. We want it to go along this rail here like that. Should go the other way. We're going to want to have 10 of these, and they need to be 20 mil apart. And then we have the computers put all those ones in there, and that's going to be a whole lot easier for us instead of having to put each individual one in there. So the next step is the guardrail. We want to have 2 of those. And what we want to do is have our fasten here, and we're going to fasten that one to there. But it needs to come up a bit, so we need to go on the offset tool. So what we want this to be above this hole here, and then we just do the same to the other one.
No! God!
Okay, so we can see here that I've made a little bit of a mistake here. I've made this thing 3 mil too long. So to fix that, I can go back to this part studio here and then go find where I actually did that. So I can double click on the extrude here and change that back to the 300. That'll solve that there, and then when we come back here, see that problem's fixed itself. So what we need to do now is insert the leg. We're going to use this fasten mate tool again. We're going to come here, we're going to come to the end of this, and we want to choose the center of that. And then we want to choose the center of this hole. And then we just flip it around until it's in the right position. We're going to come over here to this drop down menu, and you want to choose pin slot. what we want to do is come in here, and on here there's going to be a 0 somewhere. You need to double click on that 0, and we need to change it to 30 degrees. Negative 30 degrees. So it points out by 30 degrees. And you can see here that my one's messed up here. So we do the same thing again. We can go back into here. We want to edit our wireframe, and we need to make this a little bit bigger. It needs to be 306. That should fix that problem. So change that to 17. There we go. Beautiful. We got to do the same thing to the other side. So insert a leg, muck around with it until it's in the right spot. We want to go in 17 mil, and we want to have this as a pin slot. And then where the 0 is, we want to go 30. There you go, that's what it's supposed to look like. The last thing we need to do is pop in our leg rest there. So what you need to do is use the Fasten Mate tool. Click on the corner. Click on this other corner. Mark around with the direction until it's going the right way out. And then I used the offset tools and changed it so it was sitting in the right position just behind the leg. There we go. So that sits there and stops this leg from folding out too far. So then all you need to do is pop the last few of those in. And there we have our fully completed barbecue.
Now I know I've got to